Hello, everybody. Gerone Wright here, and once again, you're joining me on my Gerone Wright YouTube channel here on YouTube. Yeah, I have here up a map of the U.S. and of the world. It's a world map actually, and this video is going to be different than what my other videos are actually mostly about. However, it's still this video still lends to the fact that I have this higher conscience and this paranormal ability to see things in a way that many other people do. I mean, don't see, but yet after I explain them, you seem to understand where I'm coming from and at some point agree with me with what I have to say here in my videos. I have 560 plus YouTube videos. I hope after you see this video, if you like it, you will look at and share my other videos as well. Share this video. Um, since the presidency, the U.S. Presidency, and Donald Trump became president of the United States, well, even before then, I have become obsessed with how a person of his stature could even become a president in not just America, in any country, even in a third world country. I could not see this man being elected as president. But lo and behold, he was elected, and is a United States president, um, which is I still find to be unbelievable. It seems like something that you would see on a Mad TV cartoon. In fact, he reminds me of a one of the characters on Mad TV. And not to belittle or to say things rude about this man, but I mean, this man is just, he's belligerent, he's obnoxious, he's just a buffoon, a fool to me. And I just have absolutely no respect for him. Um, he's just unbelievable, and I just can't believe with all of the things that he had um, and supposedly had achieved in life, the success. Why would he even want to be a president, which ties him down, which ties his tie down? And even after he was elected president, I saw in that he didn't even. It was like if he was surprised himself that he became president, and he did not want to be president. It looked like he was almost actually scared to accept the role as becoming president. Um, it actually changed his life, not for the greater good, but possibly for the greater worse. And you might agree with me after I share this video with you. Okay, I believe as far as financial wise that Donald Trump has a lot to financially gain by being U.S. president, and which you will see after I start going through this video. However, I don't believe that this is something that he still wants. I believe that what Donald Trump actually is, there's a fear behind this title that he now has, and he realized that he's heading down a road of certain doom behind the true causes behind him becoming president. Now, let me show you something, and we have the U.S. here. I'm gonna bring this over. I got, I'm gonna move my, I want to bring this over. And we have the US, I'm gonna bring the US over before I actually pan over to other areas of the world here. There's your US, and the problem that we have right there is that most people believe that Donald Trump's road to that White House begun from over here in New York City, where his father and mother migrated to and began to develop a development in real estate. And this is what their supposedly their success is based upon, is their real estate here in New York, which Donald Trump later would go on to capitalize off of. There's three generations of the Trumps there in that area. Also, before I go on any further, let me stop to say that the name Trump actually is derivative of a an origins from Germany, which means trump. like a drumph, like with the D, Rumph, and it actually means drum. So for those of you that didn't know that, you should go back and look at that. So when you go into discussing drums, automatically when you talk about drums for me, especially back in those times, in those ancient times, because it predates the 18th century and goes back to the 17th century. When you talk about drums, you think about something that would be dealing with, you know what I mean, like a symbology with some type of an occult, or something of origins like dealing with Africa. You know, the beat of the drums, the warning of the drum. You know what I mean? The war drum. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind. I don't want to delve off into too many different branches here and have you all over the place, but I just want to get to the points. So Donald Trump's road to the White House, what I'm driving at, to Washington, did not begin here. However, it began from across the globe over here in Germany. Donald Trump's mother and father are German. His grandparents, Donald Trump is German. Although born in America, Donald Trump is German. He's a German. By blood, Donald Trump is a German. Donald Trump is a German. Now, let that sink in for a minute. We have went to war with Germany. We have went over there and ousted their president, Adolf Hitler, and disrupted the whole German government by doing so. Years later, they send their baby to the US to become president. Now, let's back up. We ousted a German president, a man in charge, Adolf Hitler. Many moons later, they would send their son, Donald Trump, to America to become president. Then, let's not forget that Donald Trump did not do this alone. The sistering part of this origin of the country, which is Russia, hey baby, which is Russia. Okay, hold on. Russia has helped Donald Trump. Where's your mama? Give me your mama. Give me your mama. Russia has, here, take this. Oh, we got trouble. My baby is up. Russia has helped Donald Trump become president. So you have helped, it's no surprise that Russia would help their neighbor, Germany, which in my mind, this whole thing has been planned out from day one, that someone in Germany, Donald Trump rose to power in a way that you would have to see it, in a way that in a devil movie, oh, my baby is up. Ah, you're going to mess me up here with a good video. Hold on. All right. Come on out. Come on out. Donald Trump. If you never have seen the movie Omen, I made another video, so you have to see the video that I made called the with the Omen, and comparing Donald Trump to in that movie in the Omen. There's Omen 1 and there's Omen 2, and the boy in there, the boy devil child, Damien Thorn, is a carbon copy, or Donald Trump is a carbon copy of this boy, Damien Thorpe. And in fact, Donald Trump's son, Barron, is almost in these pictures that I do in this video, is yet even a closer carbon copy of this Omen kid. And it's about this kid back in then, at this movie, I think it's from 1960s, this Damien character, was he rose to power through these demonic forces, through a backing of these demonic forces, which was bent on disrupting the political way in a country. Everything about this movie and the suggestion, the plot behind this movie is what is unfolding today with Donald Trump. Now, I'm going to get off of that. So you can research that and check that out. The fact of the matter that we have here is that, oh boy, you're gonna mess this good video up. The fact of the matter is what's happening now is everything that we done been at odds and with warfare with Russia and with Germany, and now they have their baby, which is Donald Trump, in America, seated as a president after Donald Trump is enjoying a presidency in the United States after we unseated in his country his president, which was Adolf Hitler, their commander-in-chief. Germany commander-in-chief, Adolf Hitler, a country from which Donald Trump evolved from. Isn't that scary? If you're not afraid of this, or what the implications of all of this, you should be. I don't even know how, for that reason, how he was allowed to become president, because that would have been the thing that I would have actually stated in my debate against him. You expect for Americans to actually take and vote for you, knowing the history and the origins of your bloodline, of what you represent. Now, okay, right, okay, you say, fine, well, we can't say that because we're politically correct and this is not the American way. Well, Donald Trump is a German that evolved here from Germany. The reality behind all of this is that we ousted their president, Adolf Hitler, and here we have the birth of their German son, Donald Trump, now president in America. I am not no racist. I am not anything. In fact, I love all people. But the implications of this madman, Donald Trump, who by all means and on his own actions acts like a lunatic, like an Adolf Hitler, gives me every right to make these implications and these ties and these connections that I'm making now. Donald Trump is acting biased towards races of people, against races of people here in America. Donald Trump is exciting riots here in America. Donald Trump is engaging in rhetoric and rants that he does not research, or he's just coming off the top of his head with all of these uncanny ideas, just like a dictator, just like Adolf Hitler, the country from which Donald Trump came from, this madman. Donald Trump is acting just like an Adolf Hitler and has the backing of such people like the KKK, white supremacists, all which Adolf Hitler had the backing of. Now, I'm going to keep going on. Trump states that he's going to make America strong again. Well, in my mind, America right now is at its weakest point ever in all of its history. Meaning security-wise, I believe that America's security has been breached by allowing Donald Trump into the White House. I am almost 100% certain that American security is breached with Donald Trump into the White House, for not just the reasons that I just stated, but for many others, and for many other people that will make the connections now that I open up the door for this video to actually to be viewed upon. Now, let me show you something else. You know, another thing that is scary about Donald Trump's presidency is that Donald Trump is throwing stones at China. Donald Trump is throwing stones at at Middle East countries, Muslims, all which, now look, all which neighbor his home of Germany and his ties with Russia in this region. Donald Trump is using the U.S. presidency seat to actually engage in warfare or talk of warfare or war games based on his country's history and ties and differences with these countries. This, what Donald Trump is doing is using the U.S. presidency, the U.S. White House, the president's seat, as a German totem to engage these countries, which are his neighbors and which have long had a history of conflict with in his region. This was a design, a plan, a devil child sent from Germany. Donald Trump, aka, if you look at the movie The Omen, Damien Thorn, DT, Damien Thorn, Donald Trump, this devil child sent to America in hopes of one day, and the Trump family, the drum, the beat of the drum, to one day, one of these Trumps were going to make it into the presidency. Donald Trump's sister, I believe, made it into the Supreme Court and became a Supreme Court judge. I don't have nothing bad to say about this woman. I don't know her at that point like that. But Donald Trump has revealed to me, Donald Trump has given me the right to make this video based on all of his actions and his heresy and his lunacy and his idiotic behavior. I have the right to make this video. All right. So I'm going to come back over here again because we have a problem and I'm not finishing up yet. Now, Donald Trump is making enemies abroad and in the U.S. He's making a hotbed for America. Now, let's come back into America. Donald Trump is talking about, my baby took my pointer. I got to go down here. This yellow portion here is Mexico. Donald Trump is talking about building a border wall along there. I believe that we have to worry about this and the idea behind all of this. I don't think that nobody can really rationalize in their mind why would Donald Trump build a wall in the U.S. There's other options that we could possibly try, because I mean, building a wall, these people can swim out and come around and get in boats and come around. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to come in. A wall does not actually stop these people. You know what I mean? If a person really wants to come into the U.S. or sneak into the U.S., then there's a way. I mean, even with a wall, people, you can dig underneath the wall and come in. The wall does not actually stop a person from coming in or a group of people from coming in. There are ways. I mean, it's not a prison. This is not a prison. A wall will not stop the people from coming in. If you have money, there's a way around the wall. That's what leads me to speculate that this wall that Donald Trump is talking about building is not to hold back a civilization of people from entering into the U.S. I believe that Donald Trump is building this wall for military purposes. An invasion on the homeland, on the home front of U.S. soil. I believe that this wall, not only is Donald Trump pitting the U.S. against Mexico, or putting the U.S. against Mexico, Donald Trump is effectively creating a scenario for either Germany or Russia to come in and romance Mexico to becoming a secret ally, a secret spy, or whatever you want to call it, a cohort of a war which is against a greater cause, which is against U.S. Now, on this side, on Canada's side, Canada, for most of you that don't know this, Canada is a closest ally is Germany. Where is Donald Trump from? Donald Trump is from Germany. And Canada is Russia, is Germany's closest ally. So here you have on both ends the United States being cut off on both sides. If there is an invasion on U.S. soil, if these ships came in and sallied forth in, and they use Mexico as a landing or as a military base from abroad, this will be the access point for a U.S. invasion to come in on America. And you say, well, the wall is there. Well, the wall is keeping the Mexicans from entering out and bleeding off into into America and helping the Americans, because they will be slaughtered. And invading forces from either Germany or both from Russia or from over this area could land here, use Mexico as their military base, the entire spot of Mexico as their military base. You probably say, well, that's a big speculation. Well, what other reason could you think of a rational? This is more rationalized than Donald Trump trying to keep the Mexicans out from entering the U.S. when there's many other ways for them to come in. Oh gosh, what do we have here? I lost my. Why did that go out? What happened to my world map? Here it is. Here, come back up. Oh, it's okay. It came up a different version of it, but it's okay. I'll use this one. My problem with all of this is, people, is that don't look at Donald Trump's wall for the purpose of it being able to help Americans, keeping Mexicans out of segregation, which is wrong in the first place, because in my mind, the people of Mexico is more entitled to American than the Americans that are there. These people are indigenous of these lands. We are not. And we are building a wall to keep them out of something that they have full entitlement and right to. Something is amiss here, people. There is a underlining thing. And then you have this where Donald Trump is throwing all of his things. Donald Trump is throwing anything at the wall that sticks right now. This thing about Barack Obama, the last thing, tapping his phones, all of this different rhetoric, and talking about China. Pushing all of these panic buttons to keep you blinded, throwing sand in your eyes to keep you from seeing that his wall is not for the purpose of a humanitarian purpose or humane purpose, as he so-called describes it, which is inhumane anyway, but he's doing so for military purposes because of an invasion that's to take place on U.S. soil. Don't you come this way. This is what this is all about. Come on, get out of here. Go. I done gave you that, and here you back over here again. This is what the problem we're having here, people. Now, let me tell you something else about Donald Trump's wall and what's going on here. The next problem that we're having is that Canada has said since Donald Trump, let's talk about Donald Trump's no-fly, his ban on immigrants coming on Muslim immigrants coming into America. There's a fly ban on that. Well, people, that's going to hurt economically. That's going to hurt the U.S. because all of these immigrants that migrate back, and you're talking about billions and pound billions, maybe even trillions of dollars of these people flying from their country to our country every year. This is a revenue for America, which Donald Trump is now talking about taking away. That revenue being taken away is not only going to damage the revenue for America in this way, it's going to send us Americans in debt, because that means that your airfare goes up, because now Boeing and Continental and US Air, all of them now have to adjust or compensate for the money that they lost because these immigrants are not flying no more. So they got to charge you more for your airfare for where you travel. Now that you digested that, digest this. Canada, which is also a close ally with Germany, where Donald Trump is born from, Germany, Canada has said that, well, okay, immigrants, you can all come here now. Well, this is a cash cow now for Canada. Because with all of this flight gone being rooted into Canada, this boosts the economy for Canada, which is a close ally with close ally with Germany, which is also where Donald Trump origins is from, Germany. Now the economy of Canada gets strong and gets strengthened, where America's gets weakened, and it makes Canada more stronger, which is a close ally with Germany. So now we have a worry about Canada on one side, Mexico closed off on the other side, and as America grows weaker behind the presidency of Donald Trump, which God knows what could happen, could you imagine Russia and Germany invading the U.S.? And I mean, God forbid if Russia is secretly in on this, based on them being with a close ally with Germany. They invade America. America has nowhere, Americans have nowhere to run to because Donald Trump built this wall to keep you in and allow for the military base to be over here. So we're being hit from Canada and being hit from Mexico, which now Mexicans are either dead, gone, or either became an ally with Russia because we done made an enemy out of Mexico. So either they're going to be coerced into being in this warfare against Americans, which is now bad because of Donald Trump. And all of this over here, Brazil, Argentina, and all of that, they're done. Because America is at the center of the power force, is a superpower of all of this. The United States is the superpower, is in here. So what do this tell you, people? That I have, through my paranormal experience and encounter, I have discovered the true cause behind Donald Trump's presidency. He's sent in from Germany as a child. This child, and let me go back as well too, because what's crazy about this is Donald Trump's father adopted the name of Christ. Christ. So Christ sent a child, Donald Trump, to America to become president, a German child. And I can't help but to reiterate this, people, that this German child, Donald Trump, is now the U.S. seated president, where we ousted from a country, and he's a U.S. seated president, from a country where we ousted their president, which was a dictator, a supremacist, and a nut job, just like Donald Trump was. On that note, I'm going to end this video unless I have something else here. Let me see, make sure I covered everything. Well, and I'm going to end this with, I believe that the U.S. national security is breached on everything that I've said here. And people, please, if you have comments, add in, whether they're negative or positive. But believe it or not, I don't believe where no one can refute anything that I've said here, because it makes perfectly sense. And the only reason why I can deliver such a blunt and brazen video is because it's through my paranormal experience and encounters. I'm going to end this video there, and hopefully